There's some people that like this news. There's some people that is annoyed by this news. But Canelo Alvarez is reportedly planning to vacate his IBF super middleweight world title rather than defend it versus IBF mandatory challenger William Score. Next, Canelo will remain the WBA, WBC, and WBO super middleweight world champion, meaning the days of Canelo Alvarez being the super middleweight undisputed is no mas. Now, of course, a lot of people don't want to see Canelo Alvarez versus William Score, but the people still want to see, which is regarded the primary fight in the sport of boxing, especially in this side of the pond, David Benavidez versus Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez, the cash cow of the sport of boxing, one of the best resume, or probably the best resume of this generation. King Nello, a.k.a. Cartelo, a.k.a. Cash Nello, a.k.a. Payday, a.k.a. get the fuck out of here, man. The 4th Division World Champion and former now, soon to be, undisputed super middleweight champion. Now, a lot of people going to be like, yeah, damn, Canelo Alvarez, man, your ego got in the way. You ain't going to give the opportunities to David Benavidez to become a undisputed world champion? Damn, man. So now David Benavidez not only loses the opportunity to face Canelo Alvarez, but loses the opportunity to become undisputed, or the opportunity to fight for undisputed versus Canelo Alvarez. It's the end, folks. It's time for everybody in the sport of boxing and outside of the sport of boxing to forget about it. It's the end. They won't beat Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez. Canelo Alvarez, leading up to his fight, his last fight versus Jaime Munguia, in which he won a unanimous decision, said that he wouldn't fight David Benavidez if it's not for $200 million. And he was actually skeptical. It was the first time when Canelo Alvarez was talking about David Benavidez's weight. Now, this past week, we've been talking about rehydration. You know what I'm saying? We've been talking about how Devin Haney rehydrates 25 pounds, and that's very, very abnormal for a 135 or 140 pounder. It's not as much for a 168 pounder like David Benavidez, but it's a lot that he does rehydrate close to 200 pounds. He almost rehydrated close to 200 pounds versus Demetrius Andre this past November. So Canelo Alvarez is looking at it like, yo, I'll fight anybody, but this guy right here, he works for Memo Heredia. He be doing something that is a little bit kind of suspicious. Kind of suspicious. Yo, for real, folks, I don't understand why they got these gurus in the sport of boxing. These guys are banned. I'm talking about the Memo Heredia of the world. I understand these guys probably pay their dues or whatever, and they good guys outside of their occupation. But I just don't understand why these fighters really, really want to hire these guys that got bad reputations, like Victor Conte and Memo Heredia. As a matter of fact, the last fight with Demetrius Andre and David Benavidez, it was really the battle of Conte versus Memo. You know, they always been on some nemesis, some enemies and things of that nature. But regardless of that, Canelo Alvarez don't got any high-profile opponents left in the 168-pound division. Of course, people are talking about this Edgar Berlanga versus Canelo Alvarez, Mexican versus Puerto Rican. Nah. Edgar Berlanga is not that type of Puerto Rican like Rafael Benitez, Wilfred Gomez, Hector Camacho, Cotto, Trinidad. It'll be desperately trying to sell that Puerto Rican versus the Mexican thing. But nah. David Benavidez is either David Benavidez or the rematch with Dimitri Bivol. That's why we see that Canelo Alvarez number is actually dwindling. Canelo Alvarez pay-per-view numbers is actually declining. Who thought that Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney will be competing with Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia? Is because I believe that Canelo Alvarez is not really at this stage, and of course, he's been a professional since 15 years old, so he's done enough. He already separated himself from his contemporaries. Canelo Alvarez has done enough. Canelo Alvarez is the first ballot Hall of Famer. He has separated himself from his contemporaries, where in the end of the day, even if he fights David Benavidez and beat David Benavidez, what really does Canelo Alvarez earn in terms of hardware? You know what I'm saying? That's how much he has separated himself from his contemporaries. There is no more opponents for Canelo Alvarez to enhance his legacy. That's like Roy Jones Jr. when Roy Jones Jr. went to the heavyweight division and beat John Ruiz. There was nothing else to achieve that was greater than that, unless he was going to fight Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson, in which that was not going to happen. And that's why he went back down to the lightweight division, fought Antonio Tarver, won a controversial, gave him the rematch, he got knocked out, and his legacy never was the same. Canelo Alvarez got nothing to prove no more, folks. He got nothing to prove. But this is the only fight that the fans want to see from Canelo Alvarez. David Benavidez or the get back with Bivol. Now, we all know that Canelo Alvarez, his weight, I'm not his weight, but his opponent's weight is on his mind. Bivol is bigger. He said that he dared to be great when he fought Bivol, but you know what I'm saying? Canelo Alvarez is actually small. Canelo Alvarez is actually, shorter than Floyd Mayweather. And then David Benavidez, now he's skeptical about that weight. But Canelo Alvarez took an opportunity away from the sport of boxing. Not so much his legacy, but we want Canelo Alvarez to feed the sport of boxing because he already fed his legacy, his resume, his accolades. It's the end of the David Benavidez and Canelo Alvarez, and the prestige of that fight is no more prestige. So if they fight, it will be almost like Kell Brook versus Amir Khan, when there was just two names within that country, within America and Mexico. But remember, they fought in the UK, but there was no more titles left. There was no more prestige. It was just name versus name. Canelo Alvarez has taken the opportunity away from David Benavidez. And you can see that Canelo Alvarez have a little ego. He really doesn't. It seems like he really don't like David Benavidez. Or maybe he just doesn't like the way that people call him out, because Canelo Alvarez, if you call him out, if you really want the fight, curse or anything of that nature, he don't want to give you the fight. You got to be very, very nice to Canelo Alvarez. You got to, almost be a fan of his and kiss his feet, I thought that Ryan Munguia was going to kiss his feet during the press conference. I thought that John Ryder was going to kiss his feet in the press conference as well. As much as you show, the more that you show an edge in calling out Canelo Alvarez, he look at himself because he's the king. He thinks, and he wants people to act like peasants towards him. It is what it is. But Canelo Alvarez is one of my favorite fighters, pound for pound. 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. You can flip it around. Canelo Alvarez got nothing else to prove. David Benavidez need to go and carve his own legacy. And now that Canelo Alvarez is not going to be undisputed, why not vacate the WBC and the IB and the WBO and the WBA with it? Stay with the lineal. If I was him, why pay sanctioning fees? You're not going to fight the fight that we all want to see in 168. There's not a lot of opponents where you got David Benavidez moving up. It's going to be the co-main event of in June 15 of the Frank Martin versus Gervonta Tank Davis. You're going to fight Demetrius Andrade. You're going to fight Edgar Berlanga. You're going to fight Jamal Charlo moving up. At the end of the day, nothing is going to quench the thirst of the boxing fans if it's not David Benavidez versus Canelo Alvarez. And the more that Canelo Alvarez fight, the fight that we don't want to see him fight at this stage of his career, his number's going to go down. And actually, he might be replaced as the pay-per-view king of this side of the pond to Ryan Garcia. If Canelo Alvarez wants his number to stay elite and stay prestige and stay the cash cow, he has to give the boxing fan and the sport of boxing the fight and the primary fight that it needs. Canelo Alvarez have the power to do so. Canelo Alvarez has the power. A lot of people say that, and I say that Canelo Alvarez could do whatever he want to do because he's earned the right. But doing whatever you want to do has responsibilities. Doing whatever you want to do has responsibilities. Yeah, hey, I'm an adult. Everybody here that's listening right now is an adult. But you got responsibility to work. You got responsibility to take care of your kids. You got responsibility to be a father and a mother. We still got to do the right thing. Doing whatever you want to do is not having the power to do negative things. Having the power and being the king of the sport of boxing is to set the bar and set the tone. Like every other king before you, Canelo Alvarez. Oscar De La Hoya fought everybody and gave everybody an opportunity, win, lose, or draw, and that's why we respect Oscar De La Hoya. We respect Julio Cesar Chavez. We respect Manny Pacquiao. Even Floyd Mayweather gave you an opportunity, my brother. We respect Muhammad Ali. We respect Mike Tyson. We respect Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield. The ball is in your court. You sitting on the throne. It's your time to do what the past kings did. And if not, hey, Like Canelo Alvarez says, I do whatever I want to do. But guess what? Little by little, you're going to keep losing the interest because, let's be honest, the Canelo Alvarez performance, he's not blowing everybody out the water. He's not giving the oohs and ahs and having spectacular moments and highlights. Think about it. Right after his fight, we're still talking about Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. People ain't even talking about the Canelo Alvarez and Jaime Munguia fight. That's in the past. That's it. If Canelo Alvarez want to stay the king, he has to be king-like and give the fans what we want to see. If not, it's okay. It's okay. But your number's going to be declining. And the support is going to be declining. It is what it is. Right now in the sport of boxing, we want entertainment. We want relevant names to fight relevant names. And I think it's a perfect time for Canelo Alvarez because if you wait more to fight David Benavidez, it's just going to be harder for you. But you know what? After all of this, I'm still giving Canelo Alvarez the benefit of the doubt. His resume speaks for itself. His accolades speak for itself. I won't be surprised if Canelo Alvarez fights Dimitri Bivol. Let me know what y'all think, man. Subscribe to the channel, smash the like button. Y'all already know this is Punch Drunk Boxing, a.k.a. Mr. Moo Shot himself, a.k.a. El Adobo, El Sazón, El Borracho, El Pastor de Boxeo. God bless you. Peace out.